Hearing some noise from the OB van. Sorry? Wow, bete. Okay, how much time do you need putting them live? Sorry? Yeah, Fagna, at this point we don't really have a choice. We'll see how it goes. If it's too much and I can't continue, then we'll have to have a recess. So 1 minute. Okay, thank you. Mr. Chairman, we'll unfortunately have to do it all over again. They need 1 minute to go live.
Thank you. I was tempted to cut that to 30 seconds. It wouldn't work.
Mr. Chairman, we're ready to start, so I will proceed. Good afternoon, Mr. Jaite.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
How are you today?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah.
Before we begin your testimony, I will administer the affirmation.
Thank you.
So please repeat after me.
Okay, I will do.
I, Lalo Jaite,
I, Lalo Jaite,
affirm that I will speak the truth,
affirm that I will speak the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
Mr. Jaite, I understand that for the first part of your testimony, you would like to speak in the Mandinka language.
Yes, I want to do it like this after the schooling, introduction, and then the military part, the work, then the rest, if that follows, then I will do that in English, in Mandinka.
Indeed. So the first part will be in Mandinka and then the second part will be in English.
Yes, right now where we are, we can go with English. Then after I will tell you.
For Mandinka for the first, the second issue.
Yes.
Okay.
Like the introduction, we do that in English. That's no problem. We can do that in English. Then after we go to Mandinka and then the last part in English. Yeah.
English again. Okay. Let me just tell you a little bit about how everything functions here.
Okay.
We have, even though you will be speaking in English in the beginning, there is interpretation into the local languages in the hearing room.
Okay. Okay.
Therefore, we must speak a bit slowly and allow a few seconds in between our speeches in order to avoid overlapping speech.
Okay.
Similarly, as you provide information, please make it clear what comes from your own personal knowledge because you saw or you heard particular information versus what you heard from other people so that your source of knowledge is clear throughout your testimony.
Thank you.
And I would also ask that you proceed slowly so that I can ask follow-up questions and interrupt you from time to time in order to get clarification.
I will do.
And similarly, if at any point my question is unclear or you would like me to repeat, please feel free to ask me to do so.
I will do.
For your testimony, we will focus on 4 main issues. The
Okay.
first issue is more of a background so that the commissioners know who you are. It's
Okay.
information about your biographical data, your education, as well as your career in the military. Thereafter, we will talk about the order to arrest Lieutenants Landing Sane and Almamo Mane.
Okay.
Then we will talk about the student demonstrations in 2000,
Okay.
including any orders that may have been given. And then we will conclude with your own victimization. So those are the 4 main topics.
Okay.
Are you ready to proceed with your testimony?
Yes, I am.
Great. We'll start with your full name. Please state it for the record.
My name is Lalo K. Jaite.
And what does the K stand for, Mr. Jaite?
That stands for the name of my father, Karamo.
Can you tell us when and where you were born?
I was born in Badibunjabakunda, 15 September 1974.
And where do you currently live?
I'm living in Switzerland.
Can you give us a brief overview of your educational background, including the institutions where you attended and the years when you attended those institutions, as far as you can recall?
Okay. I attended Njabakunda Primary School, and then I did my ordinary GC ordinary level in 1992 in Nusrat High School. I did my advanced level also in 1994 at Nusrat High School. I have a diploma in financial management and diploma in banking from Association of Business Executives. I am also a certified SAP financial consultant. And then I am studying my bachelor's in business and management, my final year. And I'm
tell
also
us which institution you're attending right now for your bachelor's?
University of Derby in UK.
In York,
and I'm studying
England. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm studying Association of Certified Chartered Accountants alongside also.
Can you tell us where you began your career, Mr. Jaite?
My career in the military, or?
Yes, we can skip right through to your career in the military. When did you enlist?
On the 3rd of September 1995. And then it took us until December 15, where we were graduated. But before the 4 months recruitment training, we have attended a CSB, that is the Cadet Selection Board. And then I was a civilian when I was working at the Gambia Family Planning Association. Then I attended the CSB, and I was selected as a cadet officer. Then I joined the recruitment training in September, which was finished in December 15th, 1995.
What was your intake number?
Intake 18. My intake number is intake 18. Immediately after the
18.
18 is my intake. Immediately after the intake training, I remained at the training school as an instructor, where I was part of the instructing team of intake 19.
While you were an instructor, what was your rank at the time?
My rank at the time was, I was a cadet officer. But the training school, intake 19, as we were training the intake, the cadet officer is a sort of, it's not a rank as a matter of fact in the military, because it is a position where you are learning to be an officer. So we can they call us cadet Jaite, cadet Soso, cadet officer. That was my at the moment.
Can you tell us about your progression within the military, the years when you were promoted, as well as any trainings that you had while you were in the military?
Yes, as I said, after the recruitment training, I was posted immediately at the training school to be a part of the instructing team of Intake 19. I was part of this team until almost at the end, the final year, when I was transferred to the Army headquarters as the assistant accountant. And then I was at the Army headquarters as the deputy assistant accountant until that was in 1996. In August, I went to Ghana to do my young officers course. That was from August to December, where we did our young officers course. Upon completion, I came back and I was posted back to the training school as admin officer stroke chief instructor. Then from Fajara Barracks, I was also moved, I was in the training school and then moved to Fajara Barracks as a company commander. And in 1997, I was posted to Farafenni Military Barracks. While at Farafenni Military Barracks, I was invited to take part in a course that was conducted by the Taiwanese military called the Bomb Disposal Course at the State House. And then at the graduation ceremony of the of this course, which was attended by the then ex-president Yahya Jammeh. And after the graduation, immediately after the graduation ceremony, I think he contacted the army commander who was there at the ceremony that he wants me to be transferred to the State House. And this is how.
Do you recall what year you were transferred to the State House?
That was the latter part of 1998 towards the early part, towards 1999.
And upon moving to the State House, can you tell us to which unit you were assigned?
At the State House Battalion, that is the State House, the palace itself. I was first as an administrative officer for some, I think, 1 month or 2 months. Then I was subsequently appointed as the ADC to the president.
After, can you tell us admin for how officer, long you held? Sorry, I believe you were saying something, but I did not hear that.
Yeah, I was saying that the admin office was just a brief period, was not a long time. Then I was appointed as the ADC to the president.
So you became the ADC to the president. Similarly, we're talking about end of 1998, early 1999.
Exactly.
Can you tell us for how long you remained as ADC to President Jammeh?
I was ADC to President Jammeh until my arrest. That was 2000.
Do you recall the month of your arrest?
It was in June.
So you were ADC up until June 2000. As ADC to
yes.
President Jammeh, can you tell us what your role was? What were your functions at the time?
Actually, my role was diverse. I am the personal military assistant to the president. And then I say diverse because sometimes it is in this personal assistant job, it is included as a bodyguard, a security officer, because I'm always armed. And then sometimes I do some protocol job also, like if we happen to move to places like Kanilai at that time, where the protocol officer will be in Banjul. And then I will also perform some roles of protocol officer. And then the personal military assistant is not a defined job. It involves a lot of things. Like you could do the president's private errands is involved, like the family, and then you're also part of the security team, and as I said, part of the protocol team also.
Of the president, did you go with him when he traveled abroad?
Yes, I always travel with him. Wherever he is, if I'm not sick, then I'm there.
When you say that you were the ADC to the president at that time, so late 1998, early 1999 to June 2000. Were you the only aide-de camp at the time, or were there others?
Yeah, I was the only at the camp because there is only one at a time.
Perfect. Thank you for that.
Thank you, too.
I would like to move on to the next topic, which concerns the arrest of Lieutenants Landing Sane and Almamo Mane. Can you tell us about that?
Okay, this part I would like to speak that in Mandinka, if you would permit me.
Indeed, but I would definitely remind you that your sentences should be shorter so that they can be interpreted into English, and then allow a few seconds in between. Is the Mandinka booth ready? Perfect. Please proceed, Mr. Jaite.
Okay. Kaungela kumomo nyameng la Landing Sane ning Almamo Mane la arresto. Aketa event uning keta January Karola kono 2000.
If I hear you concerning the arrest of Landing Sane and Almamo Mane, that happened in the month of January.
Wulara kilinem drong mbeje president wa yen kumandi ala jimbaola.
It was one evening we were called by the president to his veranda.
Ayafonye komenko prunga tape recorder wato tape beje mi ala ka cassette bula kono.
Put in a cassette and record.
So nga tape sama nang kabona la bunkono nga adiala.
Mr. Jaite, I'll use this opportunity to ask you a question.
Mr. Jaite, akabe nyinin kala jang.
You said that this incident occurred in January. Did you mention the year?
Nyum foko nyin ko keta January karole kono. Yes, sango nyim fole bang.
Ha, January 2000 sango kono. Sanji
yes, January in the year 2000.
You said that we were called by the president. Who is we?
No, I am president
kumandi. Iten injumalem.
President wa yen kumandi. I am the kumandi.
The president called me.
Please continue. What happened when the president called you?
Akoye continue. Brim president wa yen kumandi muneketa.
Akonga cassette tape samanang tape mi alonko cassette ka bula kono.
He said I should bring a tape which has a cassette so that one is able to record with it.
Then nga tape nying samanang.
That if I brought the tape.
Then I brought the tape.
Then I brought the tape.
So kabringa samana then I cassette babulu ayaka tape kono.
So after I brought the tape, he had a cassette which he put inside the tape.
Then akonye ilamoy.
Then he said to me, listen.
Akonye nying cassette menka plating Lieutenant Usman Sonko wole cassette nying record.
He said to me, this cassette that I am playing to you was recorded by Lieutenant Usman Sonko.
Then kabemba cassette nying lamoy kang.
So while I was listening to the cassette,
I
heard people speaking, people whose voices I could recognize. He asked me if I could recognize those voices, and I said I think I could, and he said who were there.
I said
to him, I could recognize one voice that sounded like Almamo Mane's, and the other one also sounded like Landing Sane's.
And then lamoyka waterman iba discourse kan ko ilafta coup d'etat be wala plan kay ba plan kan nyame wo diamo be wala fo kan ji.
So what we were listening to was a discussion they were having about how they could how they were planning to conduct a coup d'etat.
Because wato wasamo ndeni president wa nyanta tala Gabon ne nyanta tamala kata Gabon.
Because at that time, the president was supposed to travel the following day to Gabon.
So kabring ayala moy fonyato ay afonye ko saying lafita ye atray aliatra ba minister commanding yana.
So after listening to it for a while, he said to me, I want you to try and converge all ministers, bring all the ministers to at a meeting.
Mr. Jaite, if I may just interrupt.
Yes.
You mentioned that the tape was given to President Jammeh by Lieutenant Usman Sonko.
Ko yenyum foko tepo nying men be jam wolem lieutenant may kasito nyi record wolem Lieutenant Usman Sonkoti.
What was his position at the time?
Ako wotembo Lieutenant Usman Sonko mum palasile babul nungotumo.
O wato atlemu state guard commander la number 2 til atlebe landin sare lem commandati atlemu landin command the second senior mantinu.
At that time, he was the second in command at the State House. He was deputized. He was second after Landin Sane.
So he was the second in charge of the State Guard. He was a State Guard commander, second in charge.
Munta atela mo fulanjaunti State Guards la nyaton ko lukono atela simbe nyaton ko kan.
Walem tonyat.
That is the truth.
Apart from you and President Jammeh, was anyone else listening to that, the tape?
Na manke iten President Jammeh fo modo bijele membe wo tepo lamoy kanu wotumo bang.
Wo joyoto a entele kumandika aplenye bari momentra lamoy kanu bari mol fanan dolna na kasito nyi lamoy lek o kola.
At that time, I was the only one that he called to listen to the cassette. But subsequently, others got to hear the content of that tape too.
And can you tell us where you were with President Jammeh listening to this cassette?
Ako foisa fono nye wotembo iten President Jammeh alibe minto mafa ne bral be nyin cassette la moy kan.
Mbe kalin la sate wala kono ala suwo kono ala.
We were in Kanilai, in his house.
You said that after you listened to the tape and having identified the voices of Lieutenants Almamo Mane and Landing Sane.
Ko biringale kaseto nyi lamoy foka pare wotumo lemo ye nyimmolu kangolu sute Lieutenant Almamo Mane and Lieutenant Landing Sane ye kangolu sute wotumole.
President Jammeh made a request for his cabinet ministers. Is that correct?
Ko tumolem ate President Jammeh nyim fo pour ala cabinet minister lu ise commande fakere folem bang
ha kabringa kangol nyi lamoyle manana fonya pour nga coordinate pour minister sina Kanilai.
Yes, it was after we listened to those voices that he said to me to coordinate so that the ministers could come to Kanilai.
Do you remember around what time it was when you listened to the tape?
Ako foy hakilo si bulala le bang aliye tepo nyi lamoy wati jumale
wose keno wulara mafon di come around telen say nyol mafon la kata telen kononto nyol mafon wulara wolem.
It was in the evening. It could be between 8 and 9 in the evening.
Did the cabinet ministers arrive in Kanilai?
Ako fo cabinet minister lunata na le kane danku Kanilai bang.
Ha cabinet minister soldul nata jen.
Yes, some cabinet ministers came.
Do you recall which cabinet ministers came to Kanilai that evening?
Ako fo hakilo ba mutanola le cabinet minister juma nyolle nate danku wulun Kanilai wo wuraro.
Wobe kole ala sainteng because wato meta anim fanan kabrin wo situation o keta kaseto la moita kol bele starta ka dunyo kono mang hakilo to jumanin lel nata.
That will be difficult now because it's been a long time, and after we listened to that tape, so many things happened that are now jumbled up. So that plus the time factor, I cannot recall who came that evening.
Do you recall any of the cabinet ministers who were present?
ako foy hakkilo bambula hani minister lu momondin na men yalon ko wolum ima beta inata idan ko wolum
ala yalo man nte will remember no la sign thing because woman cannot consent at that moment.
God knows, I cannot remember that at this point in time because that wasn't my concern at the time.
Apart from the cabinet ministers, did any other authority figure come to Kanilai that evening for a meeting?
ako minister lu kola fo nyaton ko lu kono mo kote manna kane dan ko Kanilai wolum wo wuraro
ase keno le bari ndenga minister la kuma kangodronga ay wala fonye bari bitungo ya jamela ko wollem te avenue jamal le soto akala ko wolta man ni nyame.
I cannot tell because it was only the issue of the ministers that I was told about. But again, this is Yaya Jammeh. He had other avenues of ensuring that he had his way, and he all did his own things.
What do you mean by that?
ako ila kumo koto mumuneti
wala mnyinti ko ase kaseto plente fango enne bar jannabe kaseto bawa kaseto nying appelé tepo men ko no tepo bala bungola kon ase keno le fanan jannaba appelé la ntenge ente modul fanan yalla moy la ala bungo kon.
It could be that that cassette that he played to me, before he did that, he could have played it to other people since that tape was in his possession.
Well, let's focus on what you witnessed. When the cabinet ministers arrived, were you in that meeting?
cabinet minister nata ni be benna tumeno foy bijele bang
kabring cabinet minister li adati kana ayaf anan wo wato lan ayaf nyako lafitale ye sojarol organize aleta landing aning almamu ke arrest ke samba yundum barracks.
When the ministers began to arrive, that was when he said to me to arrange a group of soldiers so that we could go and arrest Landing Sane and Almamo Mane and take them to the Yundum barracks.
Apart from ordering you to take a group of men to arrest the Landing Sane and Almamo Mane?
Ako hana man kenyin damante pour ye sojaro lu kafunyo ini men bita pour kata Almamo Mane muta anin Landing Sane.
Did President Jammeh order you to do anything else?
Faye kando dila le pour isi kudo ke bang men wota kilinti.
Ay kuma kando men fonye wala mnyinti komen ko al sita le ñu arrest bari ni al tata al sa make sure al ning Ousmane Sonko e arresting activity al ya coordinate comme ali bo ñoo kalama ni Ousmane Sonko.
The instruction he gave me, what he said to me was that you should go and arrest these individuals, but make sure that when you are doing so, you coordinate the arrest with Ousmane Sonko so that you are in communication with him as to how to go about the whole thing.
Did he tell you why you should coordinate with Ousmane Sonko?
Faye dalilo foyen bang men sa kendi inin Ousmane Sonko si nyin quota mandi nyola.
Ha ama fonye directly bari akoita le ba Ousmane Sonko le nyin kaseto nyi record. That means Ousmane Sonko ning almamo ning landing wol bebe nyin ko kono le so ida malbe nyin ko kono le meeting on nyinke.
He did not tell me directly, but since the tape was recorded by Ousmane Sonko, it could only mean that all of them were in the same thing.
What do you mean by all of them were in the same thing?
Ako kafoko bebe kuwa nyin kono le la o koto mumuneti.
Wala mnyinti ko Ousmane ning landing ning almamo wole le meeting on nyinke. Andi bebe kankili ngol to puruka kudeta ke. So Ousmane na go koto.
This is to say that Ousmane Sonko, Landing Sane and Almamo Mane, we are the ones that had a discussion about the coup d'etat, so they were in the same thing.
Can you tell us which men you gathered in order to go on this operation?
Ako faisa fono nye bitun sila ye sojar juma nyole kafunyoma purkata nyindo kota mandi ya yebula menate.
Okay, nga sojarol gather element for maybe 2 sections section full of conto.
I gathered soldiers that numbered about 2 sections.
Where did those soldiers come from?
ako sojarol bota min tole
From which part of the army?
sojarol fannajuma o sojarol bota wolto
o sojarol bota state house leti because state house o wato be bungolu ñing renovate kanne so ya jamme fango be sabatri kanil lay watini watle mo akata banjul so sojarol fanan state house la sojarol dol be sabatri kanil lay le fanan.
Those soldiers came from the state guard because at that time the state house was being renovated and Yaya Jammeh had moved to Kanilai, and so the state guard personnel were also in Kanilai.
At that time, Mr. Jaita, what was your rank?
ako tembo Mr. Jaite ite fangola rank mumuneti numu
Lieutenant on mundet.
I was a lieutenant.
Can you tell us what happened after you gathered this men in order to go for the operation, the arrest operation?
ako foysa fono ñene biriye ñi molu kafu ñoma pour kata ñi molu muta silango operation o ñi mune nata ke
Ndenga nga comme nga fa ñamen section fula ngo kafu ñomale.
Just as I said earlier on, I put together two sections.
Men ketante fangoti lalo ke jaite.
Lalo K. Jaite,
Musa Jammeh, ex-lieutenant Musa Jammeh.
and ex-lieutenant Musa Jammeh,
Sergeant Buba Jammeh,
Sergeant Buba Jammeh,
Sergeant Sidi Balde Bangame Sai Major Lemu,
Sergeant Sidi Balde, but now I think he's a major.
Ismaila Jammeh, me albe mutaring sainte,
Ismaila Jammeh,
Omar Sonko,
Omar Sonko,
nga driver la fanan soto je Ali Uso anil Lamin Silla,
we had two drivers, Ali Uso and Lamin Silla,
aning sojoro do ka Rambu,
and one other soldier called Barambub.
yo kabin benna statement o dila nyin tol kole atama bakele because wato meta nyinata bari coming cool bitaka nyamende nana makoro soto karol ke jumale lo pour ngani tol soto ngani soto no remember
While I was these names.
Who did
So
you
kabir
seek
nga ñu kafu
assistance
ñooma.
from?
ako yow makoy ro ñi jumañol le bulu
okay nga telephone call ke nga mol dol call so me alan ko benun state house pour ka maybe 4 hakilo sama
I made some calls to soldiers who were at the State House at the time, if they could recall,
because jamfango in Switzerland nyantale ka deposition di against Usman Sonko baba mutarin jan.
and even here in Switzerland, I am supposed to give a deposition in the case of Usman Sonko. As you know, he is in captivity.
So kabri wo be kala den la pour kam fang remind munali keta because nyanta fen jamalella.
So, because when that was happening, I had to remind myself of many things.
So, Mr. Jaita, just a couple of quick questions on that.
Mr. Jaita ka be ñinin kala ñinin kar fulala
Which of these names did you recall yourself prior to seeking assistance?
ako ñin tolu ite fango hakkilo bulata jumañol lela jan tolu jumañol lela janni be ñinin karo kela
Ha ante fango ngam fango to remember le.
I remembered myself.
Nga Musa Jammeh to remember le.
I remember Musa Jammeh's name.
Is Musa Jammeh known by any other name?
ako Musa Jammeh fotolo balale ka kumandi men nabal
Ka fatle Malia Mungu
Yes,
ex-lieutenant
he's the one they call Malia Mungu,
Bara fatale.
but he's late.
Ani
Who
nga
else
Sidi Bal
did you remember on your own?
nga Sidi Balde fanan to remember le.
I can remember
Ismaila-
Sidi Balde's name also by myself
Nga Ismaila Jammeh fanan to remember le.
I remember Ismaila Jammeh's name.
Ismaila Jammeh,
Nga-
where is he currently?
ako Ismaila Jammeh sa yo be min tole
Abe mutarin sainteng wa fatebe jongulal le kono so abe detention la sain.
He's under custody. He's a part of the junglers, so he's detained now.
Do you know if he has appeared before the TRRC or not?
ako foyalon ne bam fa findita TRRC ñaati lungula le bam fa man finti folo
Ha, ngalon ne kafinta TRRC nyatlingola le ngamira wo mu August Karo Konoleti.
Yes, I know that he appeared before the TRRC Commission, and I think this was in the month of August.
Wale atinanko maybe to remember no baringa modul to remember bao kabirana the TRRC.
That is why I said that I could not remember everyone's name, but there are some names that I remembered, because when you started the TRRC,
Kabiring Ismaila Nataje,
when Ismaila came and appeared,
I modo to foje kahome Buba Jamme, Sergeant Buba Jamme.
He called someone's name called Buba Jamme, Sergeant Buba Jamme. I had even forgotten that I was on that mission with that guy.
So nana atrai nana katawola nyama ko contact.
That was how I made efforts to contact him.
So fanana mako modul toltole.
So he came to assist me with the names of other members of the party.
Thank you for that clarification. As I stated in the beginning, it's very important that we understand what is the basis of your knowledge. That will help the Commission when it comes to assess the information that you've provided. So tell us about the mission itself. What happened after you gathered this team and went on your mission?
Ako silang afonyeng alla misono fon keta nyadile birenyi molu kafunyoma altata silang kol nata ke nyadile.
Yo nana bo kanilai le nga nimmoto fula bota kanilai nga ngotling kombola.
We left Kanilai in 2 vehicles and headed to the combos.
Kabrinta fo mfutata then bulat futata jana combo Joshua kata stinkona mafawala.
When we got to Combo Joshua, heading towards the Stink Corner,
then a communication also to Usman Sonko na nyojeje.
We had a communication and we met with Usman Sonko there.
Then Usman na fonye fonse tano stinkona wo kamalo konoje fonse dunno jele bang si nga cool discourse benin arresto kala nyame.
So Usman suggested that we went to Kaumalo, around the Denton Bridge, and get inside there. If we could go there and discuss how to effect the arrest of these individuals.
Wojo to stinkona la ko for the silo men kabona mbakao.
Around the Stink Corner, the highway that comes from Bakau. At that time, M. Sumare had a building there. I'm talking about that side and not the Denton Bridge side. And when we got there,
Usman na funye kanim President Jammeh Diamutal, ex-President Jammeh Diamutal.
Usman informed us that he spoke with the ex-president.
And the ex-president talata menna wolemu.
And the parting message he got from the ex-president was that that myself and other soldiers should wait at Kamalo.
Ate Usman Sonko ning sojaro dol bita Banjul kata almamo arrest.
That Usman Sonko and other soldiers were to go to Banjul to arrest Almamo.
So nana nyininka bari nyadi mune ya sabakonye because wole be soneala.
I asked him how and then why, and he said yes, because that is going to be the easiest way of doing it.
So nkaya fonya banga be easy la nyame.
So I said to him, can you tell me how easy it's going to be?
Anana fonya akonye yalong hanisaying almamo nyolu malong komente mantere la konto kono sai.
He said to me, up till now, and Mamo and others do not know that I am not part of the plot.
So ninga ta misal fe nga telefono ta nga commanding kay pour nga benyum la baw nyanta ben la hanisa man na meeting lu bang.
So if I picked up a telephone and tell him that we meet at a particular place because we are still in our meetings,
akonye ko woto ibajala ko abinala le drong so atatalla parering so bala kele kuta kele je fente kele jensa arrest nga sambana.
He would come and he will not prepare for any eventuality, so that when he comes, we will arrest him and there'll be no fight or any difficulty.
So kabra o fonye.
So after he said that to me,
ngaje ko atemuntala senior manoti.
I saw that since he was my senior man,
and the president of Famaya fonye le komen ko ning Usman Sonko se coordinate.
And the president had earlier told me to coordinate the activities with Usman Sonko.
So
So I came to agree and I stayed behind with some soldiers.
So Usman Sonko nim Musa Jamme.
So Usman Sonko and Musa Jamme.
Buba Jamme.
Buba Jamme.
Ismaila Jamme.
Ismaila Jamme.
Sidi Balde.
Sidi Balde.
Omar Sonko.
Omar Sonko.
Atani wole nana bula moto kono itata Banjul purukata Almamo arrest.
Boarded a vehicle with those and they went to Banjul to effect the arrest of Almamo.
So at about maybe in for 1 hour you'll control.
So maybe within the space of 1 hour.
Or 1.5 hour, man time when you calculate it exactly.
Or 1.5 hours because I did not check the time to know the exact time. He returned back with the soldiers. He said to me, Jaite, we have returned. He said to me, but still yet, you would stay here with these soldiers and wait on us while we move on and effect the arrest of Landin Sane.
So
I said to him, well, before doing that, the one that you went to arrest, what happened with him? Where is he? He said to me, he is inside the boot. That's where you put the luggage. When he said that to me, I was terrified. I said, why would you put him inside the boot? Is it a case of lack of space in the vehicle? He said to me, he's dead.
It happens. It happens.
That's the time when I said Inna Lillah. He named God's name, which terrified people always use. He called God's name.
So
I personally went and I opened the boot of the car. I saw the corpse of Almamo inside the boot. His body was covered all over with blood. I asked Sonko, what caused this? He said that we went to arrest Almamo in the office. He refused. He said Almamo took out a gun and shot at them. And he said that's the time when they also shot Almamo. Kansulko, foete lata wala lebang.
Wale at nankai ko nana fire kuma kama lata go wala mnyindi ko officer kono ay altulu bun kidola altulu mo lulu mo wora ama mo ma altulu ya bun aliyama nkai ko obenyadi.
That was when I said to him inside the office, and he shot at you, almost 5 to 6 people, and did not touch anyone, and then you shot at him. This is to show that I did not believe what he told me.
In fact, didn't Usman Sonko tell you that he was going to lure Almamo Mane to meet him?
fo Usman Sonko manyum fonun ko atabe almamo kumandele ka fintindi nang pour nyin kamala isa mutano nyami.
And
Exactly,
didn't he explain?
Yes, that's what he said.
And didn't he explain that the reason behind that was to avoid a messy arrest, so to speak?
Ando ay nyina fanan foko dalilo membe ko ma wolem satara kelete kelaje nyobunte kelaje.
Olem tonyat.
That is the truth.
So when he gave you that explanation,
Sa imbirate kumo foite ye wonya.
You disbelieved it because of the story that he told you in the end.
Iman la koten katu ay kumo foye nyaming aninga kete nyaming.
Wala mu tonyati because ntenga almamulo ngala ko sojaro lemu.
That is the truth because I knew Almamo and I know him to be a good soldier.
Ning mo lulu mo woro na rente arrest officer kono.
If 5 or 6 people come to the office to arrest me,
Nindele follow wo will boom.
if I am the first to fire at them,
Oto nyanta mo mala wol konole.
I should be able to hit one amongst them.
So ni alma nata konte ko almamo yetulu bunne amammo ma.
So if you should tell me that Almamo shot at them and did not touch anyone,
Wo mu kulet mi alon temal lawola.
that would be something that I did not believe.
Considering
So
that you
wo
didn't
kamala-
believe his account,
Akoni ajibe wairi iman la kumolula.
what was going through your mind at that point in time?
Otembo etela miro bitaka munela ebe mira kamunela wairi sila yaje ko iman la kumola.
Ku dantanel be mira kan nun.
I was thinking about a couple of things.
Kuma ku follow wala nyine ndefanga ya jele komen kon defanga be jamfa konole.
The first one was that I saw that I was inside or a part of that betrayal,
And the flanja wala nyinde komen ko rumors ka follow nun ko sonko e kuleke amalla president soldier muso kono matale.
there was also a rumor going around town that Sonko had done something, that he had impregnated a female soldier.
And that female soldier wo mol rumor men ka fo kon landing sane badingole woti.
And that female soldier, by the rumors circulating, that was a relative to Landin Sane.
So abe silari ne num pour landing kana wo kuma kamo futande president oma.
So he was fearful or afraid that Landin Sane, afraid of not having Landin Sane pass on that rumor to the president.
So no keta pour aka so atlengani moment wala mo kalandin ning almamo comme kalandin tin bondije dal katinya.
So to take care of that situation, what he would do was to make sure that he eliminated Landin.
So kumenna na kuma kan sabanya membe hakilo kono nun.
The third thing that was in my mind,
So wala nyinte ko to maybe after landing fanam fala.
maybe he also wanted to kill Landin,
Because akola na ko ngaba to kotenke aita nin so joleta kata landing sane kam.
That was why he said that I should wait for them again so that they could go with other soldiers and get landing.
You've told us.
Council ko.
You've told us that you've told us what you believe Usman Sonko's motives could have been in relation to Landing Sane.
Sa yenyum fonyene Usman Sonko la dalilo lumumenti Landing Sane la Karola.
What motive would he have had to kill Almamo Mane?
Bari silang mune be kala dalilo ti pray Almamo Mane fa.
Because Owato Almamo and landing they are very close.
Because at that time, Almamo and Landin were very close.
And we close tele ni nyolo na kabisa fo soldier ya kono kabisa fo commando.
And they were close in the army and even before the army.
So ndela jere loto wala ndela mira loto at that time wala nyinti ko kanyinu be tinya anim fanan ate fongo sonko sina place nyin soto.
So what I had in my mind at the time was that his intention was to eliminate these two individuals so that he too could have advancement in the workplace.
So what you're saying is that you believe Usman Sonko killed Almamo Mane intentionally?
amunta silang nyine fintita ko Usman Sonko aye tawle aya wuliya kammale pour que almamo mane fa
wole benun hakilo kono wole benun sonno mo kono bitum alale alo mune mat len natot.
That was what I had in my mind, but God knows what his real intentions were.
So, considering what was going on in your mind regarding Landing Sane,
akoni ajibe wotumo membe sondo mo kono Landing Sane la kuoto,
and having seen the body of Almamo Mane, who was shot during arrest,
and ye Almamo Mane fureoje ya bung wato me atako itata umuta.
can you tell us what happened next?
Taing isa fono nye mune natake okola.
So nana turne nganyat ling Usman Sonko la wala nyama nkae sa konna nkae mante batuna jam.
That's the time I turned and told Usman Sonko that, sir, I am not going to wait for you here.
Nkae yankumandile kabonan kanila yaya jame memfonte akong ngata nyunu arrest nge samba yundum.
I have been called from Kanilai, and Yaya Jammeh said, let's arrest these people and take them to Yundum. I told him that what you discussed with Yaya Jammeh on the telephone, I don't know that. Then I told him that, and for the arrest of Landing Sane, we have to go together. Whatever happens there will have to be in my presence.
So nana bole nyama amam pare nung barajele komen kodal saim ko be nyamen komata kutente nyin ko to kotank.
Well, that was not his intention. He was not ready for that. But now he realized that, well, this man is not ready to go backwards. He's ready to go with me, and because of that, he now agreed for us to go.
So mbena na tawole nyama kata Landing Sane arrest.
So we departed, all of us together, to arrest Landing Sane.
Kabrin minafra Landing na cordato.
Just as we were about to arrive at Landing Sane's house,
ndefanga ya katale komenko ate sonko fango ni modul kana bula o grupo kono kata suwo kono Landing na suwo kono.
I tried to make sure that
I tried so that Usman himself plus some other soldiers will not enter Landing's compound.
So ndeni mo dantang soja dantane dunta Landing na suwo kono.
So it was myself plus a few soldiers who went into Landing's compound.
Kabenim futata suwo kordanyi na luoto.
When we got to the middle of the compound,
Nana realized le komenko aha ya arafa Landing koto Landing na badingo do membe sabatinga blus wokono.
I realized that one relative of Landing, who was resident with him in the house,
atomu sana.
His name is Sana.
Nana jele komen after ko min yara fa wala follow dunta bunkono jan o futata le fa dunta bunkono fa Landing inform.
We did not realize that he had gone inside the house before us and informed Landing.
So kabringa bunda konkong.
So when we knocked on the door,
ngaje ko bunda man yelen kon ngana komen ngal bunda ko pour landi ya bunda ele.
We saw that the door did not open.
So ndena na ta bungo koma.
So we went around the house, behind the house.
Hani ndena na ta bungo koma.
I went around the house.
Then lota ladla ma fan koma palanteroto.
I stood by the window of the bedside.
Bedroom o ma fangola.
By the bedroom, the window to the bedroom. I stood behind the window of the bedroom.
Hani ladla bungo ma fangola palantero beje lampo be malakandamant.
Around the bedroom, there was a room where where the light was on.
So kabringa je jibe nga palantero nyinga nyake palantero kono.
So when I looked through the window,
nga Landing jabe loring,
I saw Landing standing.
Ngala musoje baby ka find a baby.
I saw his wife also, who is called Baby.
Kono bala nung.
She was pregnant by then.
Ngamodol fananje lori landing dala.
I saw some other people also standing near Landing.
Then nga landing je telefono babulu.
So I saw Landing holding a telephone.
Then I telefono kele da mem follow call mo long.
He had already called somebody. The first person he called, I don't know that person.
But the telephone nying akamda nim telephone tata mailbox.
But it looks like the telephone went into the mailbox.
Then ngaje kotenka I tell number do call.
Then that's the time when he called another number.
Then ngama akafo ko almamule.
Then I heard him say to the person at the other side of the line, "Where is Almamo?"
Okay, where mem fire mo long.
But what that other guy told him, I did not know. I was standing by the window. Whether he heard my voice or not, I cannot tell. But I told him to open up the door. We have come to arrest him and we are taking him away. But yet still he had the telephone in his hand.
So
but what came to my mind was that before we even knocked on the door, Landing knew prior that the soldiers were coming to pick him up.
So
if he would not agree to open up the door,
and
he should pick up a telephone, calling places, then I was not also going to stand there idly with my soldiers because I did not know who he was calling. Whether he was calling the soldiers so that they could come and attack us there, or whether there was going to be any fight there.
And a residential area just about 50 meters away from our compound.
And that was a residential area where civilians were resident. In fact, my own family is resident in that area, not more than 50 meters from his compound.
So, Mr. Jaita, did you eventually arrest Landing Sane?
Council ko saying alnata Landing Sane mutale bang?
Yes, nana mutale.
Yes, we eventually arrested him. I left where I was standing behind the window and came to where the soldiers were lying down in position. I informed them that we were going to break through the door.
So, and let me control
but the door was such that we did not come with the requisite materials to be able to break that door.
So, the only way in Sakeno Nyame wala kabunda katining kidola.
So, the only way we could get inside was to fire the hinges of the door to penetrate.
So, ngawole fananke.
And that was what we did.
Then world landing covering explosion kumata because among the kidi keso denga wala tangabung.
So landing, when the explosion happened, because we did not fire with bullets.
Ekafo meye ko grenade launcher.
What they call grenade launcher.
Ngawale connect telefanga ya connect bunda bala.
That was what we attached to the door. I did that personally.
Then wurtanko grenade.
Then I shouted, "Grenade!"
Then being a long cover.
So all of us fell to the ground and took cover.
But the door
that we attached it to, and where Landing was with his family, was a little bit far apart.
So Kabiru Kumata don landing Kumakama, stop. I'm here.
After that noise, I heard Landing's voice saying, "Stop, stop.
So sojorol ya muta wala nyama ya fintindi bunda katring kono.
So that was how the soldiers arrested him and brought him out through the door that was destroyed.
When Mr.
Because
Sane was
arrested,
Akobriye Mr. Sane muta.
did anything happen to him?
Fo kuketa la lebang.
Actually, men along kon se men fon kalamuta wala mo kabrin sojorol ya bondi na bungo kono ya sabanya men bundato.
Went in and got him and brought him out through the door. Because all the glasses were broken. It might be possible that something has happened to him. It might be possible that he was wounded.
Let me be specific. Was Landing Sane beaten by any of the arresting officers?
Yes, that's where I'm coming to. After they pulled him out of the house,
then immediately member bunda it started ka lipa pam ka lipa.
Yes, when they took him out of the through the door, the soldiers who were standing around the door started beating him up.
Then I shouted because I was behind them.
He shouted because he was standing behind them.
Stop it! Man na jam puruka bute na tajena puruka arrest so ni ale ndema nga soto.
I shouted to them and told them, stop it. We didn't come here to beat him up. We are here to arrest him and take him to a place where he should be taken to.
Which soldiers were beating Landing Sane?
Actually, men na figo dunta nya kono bak wala mu Ismaila Jammeti.
The person who I can recall most was Ismaila Jammeh.
And then another person fanam bejele, but I come at all nyata walla, but full lemu.
There was another person, but I cannot recall his name, but he was a fuller. He's a soldier, fair in complexion. I realized that those two were the first to start.
Did anyone else join those two in beating up Landing Sane?
No, I'll more realize. Stop it.
God knows, I cannot recall. But when I saw the beatings, fat, and I shouted for them to stop it.
How were they beating Landing Sane?
Ibulo ya lipa ibulo la ngajele ya lipa ibulo kama ngini mo kurupenye den ya damfu.
They were beating him with their hands. It's like when you hit someone with a blow and then you kick them.
Then Kabriya stopped.
So when they stopped,
then tamata wala nyama kata Usman Sonko ningo mo tola male bedamento.
We walked to where Usman Sonko was left behind with other men. He was also there with the vehicles. We boarded Sane into the vehicle like that. The vehicle that Musa Jame was in, that was where we put him. That is a double cabin, the back seat. We put him in the middle so that he will be sandwiched.
Where was he taken?
So, Biral Botaje aliasa mamintole.
Sorry about that. Yundum Barracks.
We went to the Yundum Barracks.
I would like to wrap up this issue so we can move on to other issues.
Kalafta nyim fanna banale purunsi dum kudolu kono.
Did you have a conversation with anyone else from the team after Landing Sane's arrest?
Brali Landing Sane muta fo kapare. Silam fo woka fo molu kono je ni menu be silo kam fo ni molu nolu dolu diamu talebang.
Diamu nyadi ma understand diamu nyadi.
Which kind of conversation? I don't understand.
After Landing Sane's arrest, and you took him to Yundum Barracks.
Aliasamba Yundum Barracks.
Where did you go next?
Bral bota jal tata minto le koteke.
Yo, nana murle kata Banjul.
We returned to Banjul.
Because ntanyanta kaito dolta no State House or the Kasamba Kanilai.
Because I was to pick up some documents from State House to take them to Kanilai.
Did you go straight to State House?
Altata State House le bang altata State House la manso dulato bang.
And Manta Street in Soto Dulato.
We did not go straight. We branched to some place.
Can you tell us about that?
Okay.
Yes, I can do that as well. We left Yundum Barracks and headed towards Banjul. Sonko's vehicle was leading. My vehicle was following.
So
when we got to a place called Bond Road, I saw Sonko's vehicle take a turn. Then I told my driver, take a turn also and follow him.
Then data for nyato demanding.
So we went until in front, a little bit in front.
Ngaje Sonkola motor lota.
I saw that Sonko's vehicle stopped.
Ajita ndefanangana munko driver low ndefananjita.
He alighted, and I also told the driver to stop, and I also alighted for my vehicle.
Then mbulata noma.
Then I went after him.
Ngaje ajimita I fensika.
I saw him and pick up something.
Then kaya muna nyinto kata kidolete pistulo.
Then I asked him, what is this? Then it turned out to be a pistol.
Then kaya ko muna pistulo nyin sija nyin suto nyin wate kari.
I said to him, what brought this pistol here in this time of the night?
Amampare kafo nyakonye lefanjete omangela hajot.
Amampare kafo munaketa munabulata onoma.
Amampare kafo nye mun nkane mune nyin pistulo sija ako omankena hajot amampare kafo nye.
I asked him what brought the pistol here, but he was not prepared to tell me about it. He said that was not my business. But he could recognize from the tone of my voice that I was not in any playful mood. And I made it clear to him that he is supposed to tell me what it was about.
So Walter
that was when he told me that. He said that they had stopped at Bond Road. He and his people had stopped at Bond Road.
Then I telephoned Almamo call.
Then he picked up a telephone and called Almamo.
Almamo in a Bond Road meeting on continue.
To tell Almamo that he should come to the Bond Road so that they could continue their meeting.
So covering Almamo nata.
So when Almamo came, by this time these other soldiers took cover inside the bushes.
So ako covering Almamo futata.
He said when Almamo arrived,
ateko soldier finda nyamo koneka you are under arrest.
He said the soldiers came out of the bushes and said to him that you are under arrest.
Then Almamo saunta wala nyama e bori mangrove okono.
Then Almamo jumped and ran into the mangroves.
Ate Sonko ko watolem sojorol ya bunki dola.
Sonko said that it was at that moment that the soldiers fired at him.
because mo fonte cabinet resting corner.
I said to him, but why did you not tell me this when you came to the Sting Corner?
That means you lied to me. You're funny alefoni.
Which means you lied to me.
So I had a second explanation of an honey sama mukalala.
That was why even his second explanation, up till tomorrow, I am still doubtful about it.
So nana dumoto kono wala nyama.
So we now got into our vehicles.
Ntata Banjul.
We went to Banjul.
Then president official file solta.
I went and picked up the president's official files.
Then kata back to Kanilai.
Then we returned back to Kanilai.
So, Mr. Jaite,
Kosai, Mr. Jaite,
did you at any point report the suspicions that you had regarding Usman Sonko's involvement in Almamo Mane's killing?
Ako yesobo mensoto Usman Sonko la kuoluto bring ye Almamo Mane fa fo inata kibaro bankele ka itanu mola bang.
Ni malo molo coming ntengan kabrinta pota Gambia.
When I left the Gambia,
fonga interview dolu meni kedenga interview kele sanji lulu sanji woro komanto nyolto.
Maybe some of the interviews that I gave, which was about 5 years or so.
I'm referring to after the operation.
Ako brale operational ke wonoto wato wotilo lukona bolema.
Did you report these suspicions to anyone within your chain of command?
Ako fo isobo mensoto fo ya fo moyenne alla kanti olukono.
O ato situation be nyameng hube kumato ko bo fala do ke fangono bula problem o kon.
At that time, the way the situation was, if you want to talk about these things, you'll be putting yourself into problems.
And iba fala jumale ba president for ya membe caring. All the highest command.
And who was the highest command was aware of what was happening.
What do you mean by he was aware of what was happening?
Ako koto mumene ka foko president ya ne membe caring.
About Usman Sonko's involvement.
Akombe Usman Sonko la kuole for
his killing.
Ani ite subo mensoto atela kuoluto Almamo Mane la sayato.
How was President Jammeh informed of that?
Alia kibaro di President Jammeh la nyadile.
Niya ko president ya kala mutale.
If you see that I am saying that the president is aware of it.
By normal circumstances, naba nyama.
Because if the situation was normal, if the situation was the way it ought to be, if you give me an order to go and arrest people, and before I reach at my destination, you telephone other people,
and
before I left, you told me that let me make sure that I coordinate with those people.
So
so if that person does anything at all, then I will have the feeling that he would know of what is happening.
That is
that was what happened.
But you don't know if he was actually informed of the details of that arrest.
Akobari emalom fo ye kulu be Kenya la keta nyame pour kalmamu mutani kulu nata Kenya mfuyo kibaro lube fuya fo atenne bang.
Including the different explanations that Usman Sonko gave you.
Tabula kuma fason fulolu menu Usman Sonko ye foite.
Surrounding the circumstances that led to Almamo Mane's killing.
Kabula kuol la mene alon ko wole tatake Almamo Mane la saya Kenyati.
Hatonya o somo samu como somo
the following day
ndefanam fanga ya fo president ne comme ko order men di pour Almamo ning landing.
I said to the president personally that the order he gave regarding Almamo and landing,
nga fa ne ngalon ne ko ya moyle.
I told him, I know that you are aware
so but Almamo fa la niyo tuta jele
But Al-Mamo lost his life there.
And then Landin Sane be Yundum Barracks.
And Landin Sane was at Yundum Barracks.
But
But God knows, these statements that Sonko told me, my discussion with Yaya Jammeh did not reach that far.
What was President Jammeh's reaction when you told him, when you gave him an update?
Akobirite yo kumol for Yaya Jammeh atela ata nyadile ala kol keta nyadile ay munafo.
Okay, yeah, ate mem fonte ala kuma ko mem famansia da itan le komen ko ni me fambula coup d'etat kono.
What he said to me was not much, but he said if you involve yourself in a coup d'etat, whatever hardship that befalls you, that is something that you brought upon yourself.
I often remember.
He said that to me, and I can recall.
What did you understand by that statement?
You know, all soldiers, we all know that a coup d'etat, any soldier that was prepared for that, then it means it's your life that you have laid down.
I'm asking that question in relation to Almamo Mane and Landing Sane. What did you understand by President Jammeh's statement?
Ko Almamo Mane ni Landing Sane la kuwa bole nyinin kaka wakati president wa atela kuma kama ay cool tanya maketa nyadile.
Ha, comme quand for ala reaction on tenga understand nyame wala nyindiko ni sojero men ya lonko yi wakilte ko be coup d'état la kele ko be president coup d'état la ni man to men so kono.
It upon himself to involve himself in staging a coup d'état. Whatever hardship that you get from it, it would be something that you have brought upon yourself.
So
in my own observation, it seems he did not care.
So, Mr. Jaite, I would like to ask one last question, and we really need to move on to another issue.
Akabe nyininkar laban kala nyin akofo idia muta moyenne wo molu kono menuta ini menuta tanyola mutarola.
About the circumstances that led to Almamo Mane's killing.
Molu ketanya men hanufo Almamo Mane
No, tell her that I did not discuss that with anyone. I cannot recall discussing that with anyone.
I would like to address the issue of the student demonstrations in 2000.
Silang akabe la fila ale kumo fo menketa talibo lao balambaya te 2000 sangokono.
I believe that you will start testifying in English, is that correct?
Ako silang ay nyumuta ko bada mutala ka ila sede yaro ke angale kangoto fo pareta wala lebang.
Yes, I.
Can you tell us how you came to know about the April 2000 student demonstration?
It was one where in Cuba, I was with the president. The president had an official visit, a state visit, among which I was part of. And then early in the morning, as I was lying in my room, a soldier came and knocked at my door and just gave me a telephone, says the protocol officer of the vice president is on the phone. Then I took that, yes, the protocol officer to the vice president was on the phone.
Do you recall the date and time when you received that telephone call?
If my memory could serve me well, that was exactly the April 10th, on the 10th of April, at this very moment when things were getting out of hand at Westfield.
Do you recall what time of the day it was in the Gambia? Was it morning, afternoon, or evening?
That will be difficult because the time difference, I don't know. But I knew for us in Cuba then, we were not fully awake. We were still in bed. And then at the time, the protocol officer, the way he was talking to me was like, that was exactly the time the things are likely or almost getting out of hand between the students.
You spoke to?
His name I can remember, Mr. Jobate, we normally call him Pui Jobate.
And
I think
he was the
maybe
protocol
Babukan
officer
Pui
of the
Jobate,
vice president at the time, correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us the name of the vice president at the time?
Madam Aisetunjai Sedi.
Can you tell us exactly what the protocol officer Jobate told you on the phone, as far as you can recall?
I asked, as far as I can recall, I asked Jobate, what is the problem? Because then the president was still in bed. And then he said, it is very urgent. There is a student strike and the situation is almost getting out of hand. And the vice president needs to talk to the president as immediately, no matter what. So he was a little bit tense in my understanding and a little bit nervous.
And what happened next?
Then I went to the president's door, which was his room, and my room was just a matter of some seconds work. Then I knock at the door. He opens the door and I gave him the telephone. I told him there is a student strike. But when the reaction, he was also panicked immediately. I could understand from his reaction. Then I gave him the telephone. Then I returned the door back, and I was
Did you tell him who was on the line?
Yes, I told him the protocol officer of the vice president is on the line, and he said the vice president wants to talk to you concerning the student strike. Then I stood behind the door, and he was having the telephone and was talking. As he was talking, what struck me most was I immediately heard him saying that they should take care of this bastard in whatever form. Take care of this bastard in whatever form. So immediately I heard that, then I also became a little bit panicked because I immediately remember there is a cousin sister of mine who is also going to school.
Just a second before
then
you move
I ran
on.
back to my
So at that point, the president, Yahya Jammeh, was speaking to the vice president, Aisatunjai Sedi. Do you know that?
That is my assumption. That is my assumption.
And from what you recall, his exact words were, can you tell us?
Care in any way and form.
Sorry, please repeat that because there was a difficulty with the signal.
What he said, what I heard him saying was, take care of these bastards in whatever way and form.
What was the tone of President Jammeh at the time?
The tone was really aggressive. It was not a low tone, because if it was a low tone, I may not even hear what he was saying, but the tone was aggressive.
What did you understand by that statement?
In whatever form, and then that to me, it takes everything. It could be they could be killed. It could be they could be beaten in whatever way and form. So that is an open-ended one.
What was your reaction upon hearing that?
I was shocked at the moment I heard that, and I had to run, and immediately a cousin sister who was living with me as a student at Nusrat High School came into my mind. And then I just ran to my room, pick a phone and call my wife back to Gambia. And I asked my wife, why is Matida? She went to this, oh my God. And then I was like, okay, maybe he's also part of the people they're gonna deal with, to be candid.
If your understanding of President Jammeh's statement at the time was that take care of those bastards in whatever form, could either mean beating or killing Why did you react in that way?
Yeah, because it is when he said somebody who was shouting with the word bastards, and we all know who Yahya Jammeh is. He's a dictator. And then the student strike is always a chaotic situation if it is not orderly organized. And then if you have the security forces who are also not orderly trained and orderly responsible for such things, and you as a commander-in-chief, you gave that type of order, that is the definite, the final thing could be, they could even kill them, they could even shoot them. This is my understanding.
So you felt that in whatever form was open-ended, meaning it included actual killing. That's how you understood.
Yes, that's my understanding, yes.
So when you called your wife and realized that a member of your family was not at home, what happened next?
Yeah, I had this feeling that, yeah, maybe I may not see her again alive. That is my feeling.
Is there any particular
my feeling
reason
was
why...
I had this...
Please continue.
Yeah, I mean, I had this feeling that then I may not see her also alive.
Is there any particular reason why you would interpret such a statement to also include killings, for example? Was there any reason why you would interpret those words from the president in that manner?
What I understand, what I know about him is, at that moment he was panicked, and then he was nervous, he was angry, his tone was aggressive, and then these things, as a dictator, he was never tested in that line like that. And I have this feeling that for him, Yahya Jammeh, who knows Yahya Jammeh, who has no respect for anybody, when it comes to challenging his authority or challenging him as the head of state, he's ready for everything. So I've had this feeling that he will, if it is not in that telephone communication, he will be able to tell people, even if it wants them to kill them, he will be ready to do that. He will be ready.
Yahya Jammeh gave to Vice President Aïssatou Ndiaye Seydi, who was in the Gambia at the time, correct?
That was my assumption. My assumption is Vice President was on the other end of the phone. That was my assumption. And then I heard Yahya Jammeh saying this type of words.
After you told Protocol Officer Jobate that you were going to wake the president up, or you were going to hand over the phone to the president, at that point, do you know if the phone was given to Vice President Ndiaye Seydi or what?
No, I cannot remember that. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Did you at any point inform Mr. Jobate that you were going to hand over the phone to the president and so he could give the phone to the vice president?
I did not remember telling him to give the phone back to the vice president, but I could remember telling him, okay, I'm going to wake the president up and then I will give him the telephone.
And so after you heard that conversation and you tried to contact your own family members, can you tell us what else happened during that trip in Cuba while you were with the president?
After that morning, it was a continuous consultation, the president with some members of the delegation. One that struck me was, I think, Ablai Kujabi. I think Ablai Kujabi was part of the trip. They were always meeting in the president's room, and they were all... He was one time the director of national intelligence.
Did he have a specific
position? If my memory serves me well, he was...
2000?
No, he was just the director of national intelligence, and sometimes when the president travels, he travels with him. And then if my memory could serve me very well, he was part of that delegation. And then there was a continuous, they were talking, and the president could be seen physically nervous, and then but one can also see from him, because this is something that has never happened in the country or to him, so one can see the nervousness and the uncertainty, and then one can see that okay, they are strategizing how things are going to, and he is continuously making telephone calls, but to whom I don't know after that, and I was not part of the telephone conversations. And then they decided that we should move, but they changed our departure time to say that, like, if we're supposed to arrive in the morning, they changed the departure and then arrival time so that we could arrive at a different time when the people, because they were not so. I don't know what he hears, but the rumors that we talk about is, are soldiers even part of this? Or are other people part of this with the students? So those are the uncertainties that the president was having.
And so tell us how that affected your trip in the end.
The trip was, after all, it was a chaotic situation because nobody knows what was going on. Nobody was certain about what the future looks like. And then we decided to move. Then we flew. Instead of arriving in the morning, I think we arrived in the night. And when we arrived at the airport, there were no people. There were only few people on arrival, not the normal receiving reception, like not the normal reception when he travels. And in fact, on our way to Banjul, because of the way the situation was, he did not even sit in his car. I was the person who was sitting in, and then we moved him to my car. And then we, instead of driving Coastal Road, I think, around that area, and we came out at Serekunda, and then just to camouflage the situation, then we went to the State House.
So you were the one who was in the president's vehicle, and you said the president was in which vehicle?
The president was the president's vehicle. I was sitting at the president's position where he sits. Usman Sonko was sitting in front, near the driver, and the president went and was sitting in my car. Because normally that is the second car of the president, but normally I use that, so not always. Sometimes I'm in the president's car, sometimes I'm in that car. But he was not in his official car in that night from Yundum to Banjul.
Upon your arrival in the Gambia,
what happened? Maybe we will be attacked, or maybe people.
No, please continue.
Yeah, we didn't know what actually is going to happen. Are we going to be attacked? Is the strike over, or what? Everything was uncertain.
Do you recall how many days after the 10th of April you actually arrived in the Gambia?
If my memory could serve me well, I think the night of either the night of on the 11th or the night of the 12th that we arrived, but I am not very sure exactly.
Do you recall if President Jammeh received any information either through public sources or not about the demonstration?
Yeah, he would receive that, I know, but he's not a good reader of newspapers, because there are certain newspapers you dare not to bring it to his office. But I think apart from the telephone calls and official things, he got, in fact, one particular situation where an Observer newspaper, when we arrived at the State House, there was this Observer newspaper where there was a gentleman who gave an interview called Sheikh Louis from Bakau. I didn't know Sheikh Louis at that time, but I worked with a woman called Our Louis from Gambia Family Planning Association, and I knew that her husband's name is Sheikh Louis. So Sheikh gave an interview on Observer, And then he was trying to blame, from the interview, the blame was given to the government for the atrocities of April 10th and 11th. And the president saw that. He just went through quickly in front of a caravan, because then the State House buildings were under renovation. He was there, the president, Yahya Jammeh. I was standing in front of the caravan. Usman Sonko was standing there. Ex-Lieutenant Musa Jammeh Malia Mungu was also standing there. After reading these newspaper people who can keep secret, I think it will be good you go and take care of this, eliminate this gentleman. I was like, what? Then this is where the conversation stops. Then
what did you understand by that when he said eliminate this gentleman, take care of this man?
To kill him, because he was offended about that interview. Mr. Lewis, I think at that time was like Amnesty International, whether the Secretary General of Amnesty International, but he has something to do with the human rights institution. If my memory could serve me well at that time.
Can you tell us what happened after Yahya Jammeh asked Sonko to take care of him, to eliminate Mr. Lewis, if he had people who could keep secrets? What happened next?
Yeah, what happened was that immediately he said that nobody said a word. Yahya went into the caravan. Me and Usman, we left in the same direction. Then I just turned to Usman Sonko. I said, sir? He said, yes. I said, ndateje. Ndamantraje bi, ndateje sam. Well, that means I just look at Usman and said, sir, I am not. I just look at Usman and say, sir, I'm not part of it. I'm not part of it. You're the commander of the State House, but I'm not part of this thing. That was a very risky move, because if the information went back to him that I said that, I could be eliminated myself. But I think also that saved the life of Sheikh Louis, because Usman knows that I know I had this information, and I openly told him I'm not part of it. So it could be that they decided not to do anything further.
You said if the information
and I think,
about
Sheikh
your
Louis,
reluctance...
nothing has happened to say.
Yes. You said the information, if the information about your reluctance to be part of that mission went back to him, you might be eliminated. Who are you referring to?
Myself, I could get into trouble.
Who would get you into trouble? Or who would give an order to eliminate you? That's what I'm talking about.
Yahya Jammeh himself. Yahya Jammeh himself.
Regarding the April 10 and 11th incident, did you come to find out any other information about what happened after Yahya Jammeh provided instructions to Vice President Aissatou Njie Saidi?
No, actually, I did not. About the April 10th thing.
Sorry, please continue. I didn't hear that.
I said I cannot remember having any other information about the whole April 10th.
I would like to quickly move on to the last topic because we really don't have much time left. And that is regarding your victimization. What happened to you?
That it also happened in 2000. While in Kanilai, I was informed that I have to report to the Army headquarters. That is in a form of a transfer, that I'm transferred to the Army headquarters to take up a new job.
Do you recall the month when this happened in 2000?
I think this was in June. This was in June, I think, yeah. Then I had a mixed feeling. It was I had a mixed feeling. On one side, I was relieved because of the State House. And then if I cannot take myself out of this place, if they transfer me, that is a good thing. And in fact, I forgot to mention that. I even tried to leave the country while I was at the State House. the way I did was I applied a school, the University of Kentucky. I applied for a bachelor's degree in information technology, and I even paid half of the school fees. And then until in Kentucky, my room and everything, my name was even on the door, and I was supposed to stay there with one gentleman. A brother of mine could be my witness, Malandin Jaite, who was in charge of this transaction. I was supposed to go in August. The school was supposed to start in August, and in June, July, we got this problem. So when I was transferred, I had this mixed feel. I said, oh, this is good. Then I'm out of this everyday thinking of my life, and I can also see my family, because I'll be working from morning to 8 and go home.
because the commissioners will still consider that. And also, if he would like to make any final statement, then I would also ask that he sends it in writing if he agrees. And then if the commissioners don't have any questions, then that is a good way to proceed. But I will have to consult the witness and then get back to you. If not, then we can try and schedule another time with the witness for him to just conclude on another day, not today. Yeah.
I was just going to repeat that as the third alternative or option. Maybe we should do that. We don't need to come back now. You go with the three options. Either way, he should be able to have it on record. If that is okay, you don't need to come back to us. We will just go ahead and end the meeting and end the week also. And we will resume again 10 o'clock on Monday.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. That's a good solution.
Fine.